Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's get into the MLB action Sunday, May 11th. We're going to run the board. We got exciting games to kick off this Mother's Day. All you moms out there watching, happy Mother's Day. Let's get into the picks and the best bets. If you have not done so already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us right here on the channel. Exciting day across the board with all you guys out there looking to dabble into some cross-sport parlays and all that fun stuff. Have a day because we do get NHL, NBA playoffs as well as what we have in the MLB running concurrently. We'll recap yesterday real quickly. It was a split 2-2 on the day, and there was a lot of bets that I was watching as the day went on, and I know you guys out there that play my leans were probably having a field day out there because there was a lot of plus money kind of opportunities that did come through, and we kind of see that today. Full disclosure, it's a card that I don't love it. But it is a high variance card in my personal opinion. We do have a lot of mismatches. We do have a lot of numbers that, quite frankly, as I was going through mine versus theirs, they weren't where I would expect them to be, and that does leave us for a nice little chalky Sunday, as I do think there are some angles that we can exploit. A couple props I do like. We'll talk about it. Let's get down into it. And to do so, we are going to use Outlier. Okay, now for those of you that are new to the channel, or if you are new to not using any kind of tool out there in the industry, one of my favorite things that does help me throughout my day, even if I'm on the road, live betting, stuff like that, truly invaluable in my personal opinion for a very negligible price when you compare it to what you're paying to make the best bet you can. It is truly invaluable for my betting strategies. Okay, so check it out. Links down below. 7-day free trial. Cancel anytime. I know a lot of people signed up, so that's good to see. And yes, let's get into that first game on the card, and it's going to be a good one, right? A little noon baseball here as the Metropolitans host the Cubbies, and let's get into kind of what we're going to be seeing. Canning, he's been special, 5-1 on the season, 2.5 ERA going against Matthew Boyd, and it's going to be one where it's going to be very hard not to bet against the Mets at home, and that's kind of where you see an overwhelmingly amount of the support or on the Mets. However, I don't want to fade this Cubs lineup, but I do think that Canning and the Mets are the correct side. Very close, -130, but eventually all this madness has to stop. Pete Alonso has been on an absolute tear in this season. And yeah, that's kind of where I am within the Mets Cubs. You could look first five. I don't really trust that Cubs bullpen a lot, but these two teams, a little neck-to-neck race, home team better pitcher. You know, that's kind of where you would have to lend at a very short number, which, you know, the odds makers kind of have this one closer to a coin flip at -130 than I would have expected. But they do give the Cubs a lot of respect. So it's going to be one where I would lean Mets, but no play for me officially. The next game, this is one that I did think that I was going to get involved with in terms of possibly a money line parlay candidate. Chris Sale on the bump, kind of bouncing back after that Cy Young season, 1-3, 4+ ERA on leading up till today's affair with the Pirates. As quite frankly, I think that the Braves break out here, -218. I know it's a very sharp, steep number, I should say, anything over $2 on the money line, but I do think that this is almost a bet where we've seen lower scoring outings for the Braves, right? They won yesterday in 11, and but they've had a lot of opportunities not cashing in on those runners left on base. I think that the Braves kind of rally a little bit, breaking out against the Pirates. I know it's chalky, but hey, Braves, Sale, I'll trust them enough over Mlodzinski, if that's how you pronounce it. So that's kind of where I lean. If you want to find a way to get involved, maybe Braves first five cheapens that up. I wish the Braves were at home because I would be taking them to not bat in the ninth. But there's a couple different ways you can get into the Braves in this spot. There are some dance partners out there, most notably the San Diego Padres, which it seems stupid, but yeah, they're over $3 on the money line, and it's almost some way or some form or fashion you have to find a way to get involved with that Braves. I'm sorry, with the Padres and the White Sox. I'm sorry, Padres and the Colorado Rockies. Wow, cheers. Need more cup of coffee. Hold on a sec. Okay, we're back. All right, so that's kind of how I look at the Braves Pirates. I'm going to be passing just outright, but I would look to parlay the Braves on the money line. I do like them in that spot with Sale, simply put. The next game that we will talk about, we do have Not this one, but the next one, the Cardinals and Nationals. I would go right back to it. We lost on a bet yesterday, Nationals and Cardinals. Mikolas going against Mackenzie Gore, a little lefty there, going against Miles Mikolas, who has been a little bit more of a major league pitcher this season than last season. Okay, but I still think a Sunday kind of getaway game, 1:30, a little bit earlier window. I think that the runs could be plentiful in this spot, even though the numbers kind of contradict that. Even though we got 4-2 yesterday, it's something where I handicapped that game, and I thought it was going to be a 4-4 at worst push. We would get a 5-4 kind of outcome in extras, and I stand by that pick. I think that was one of my favorite plays of the day yesterday, and it just did not cash. It was 4-2. The Nationals struggled to score early, but I think that was the right side, and I would kind of go back to that. I look for the Nationals to score. I look for the Cardinals to score. I think this is where we get an over here. Once again, over 8.5 would be my lean in this game, but no official play. Rangers and Tigers. That's the game that we will have a couple moves in. All right. And we look at the Tigers here. Short money line price at home, -112. I don't trust the Rangers bats enough on the road. So we're going to be taking the Tigers here, -112, backing Olsen going against Nate Eovaldi. Also, I think we're going to dabble into the Javier Baez prop market here, and this is one of the beauties of Outlier. You can see we're going to be taking the over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I think it's a little bit more profitable than the other way that I would have approached this. Okay, give me some plus money, +130 for Javi, who has cashed this in 80% of his last 10 games, especially in a spot against a plus matchup, in my opinion. Where we saw a goose egg, and you've seen it before against Houston. He had 1 hits, run, or RBI, bounced back with a six hit, run, RBI performance going in the next game. So I look for a little zigzag. Give me Javi Baez at plus money, +130, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. If you don't like hits, runs, RBIs, I still would recommend a total base move for Javi. You could take him over a half base, and I think that pays a very similar price, but I think it's something where you look at it. This is 90% cash rate, but it's a little bit too much juice, -155. So that's kind of where I would dabble into the plus money hits, runs, RBIs for Javi Baez to go alongside Detroit on the money line. Next game, Milwaukee, Tampa Bay, Rasmussen going. No play for me. Kind of lean kind of lean Tampa Bay. I just don't really trust them right now in this spot. And the same thing goes for the Brewers. The Brewers could break out, score 8+ runs. It's just kind of a pass for me in this game. All right. Next one, Reds, Astros. Very interesting here as the Astros and Ronel Blanco come into to this matchup, going against Petty for the Reds, and that's something where you kind of have to go into this conversation with his first kind of appearance, okay? And this is where we saw 2.1 innings pitched, 7 hits, 9 runs, 9 earned, 2 bombs. There you go, okay? So I think this is something that does set up quite well for the Astros to tee off. But for me, guys, I'm not going to get involved because I just think that we could, if anything, I would bet the over in this game. The Reds bats can get it going. Blanco can give it up. I think that 8.5, if you want to find a juiced up 8, I would probably lean towards that. Maybe a little bit Astros on the run line, -1.5 at +150, but it's nothing that really made me want to get involved from a betting perspective. Okay, so we will pass. San Fran and Minnesota. This is something where it's kind of a tale of 2 nines, right? The Giants 24-16 on the season, Twins dead 500, 20-20 on the year, and the fact that we do get Lopez at home going against Raup, I think this is something where you could look for some plus money on the Giants. +125 would be my bet, but no play for me officially. All right. Next game, Boston and Kansas City. This would be a lean towards Kansas City, -132. Definitely the sharper side. Definitely the numbers back it up. And I think that with Seth Lugo going against Giolito, give me the Royals here. Not a play, but this is a very strong lean. Royals on the money line. Okay. And then let's hit it. Let's get into the conversation. How in the world are we going to handicap this Padres-Rockies game that we saw a huge blowout? The ship had sailed in the first inning as the Padres put up 5. And this is one where I got to be honest with you guys. I bet it, and I was looking to bet it again right around first pitch, and I just did not get in time. The game kicked off, and it was live, and before I knew it, the number had reached a point of no return, and it kind of stayed that way for the rest of the game. Really loved the Padres yesterday, and it's the same story, different day, but we do, I think, in my opinion, get a better matchup than we had yesterday, okay? And I was dead on the market within the Padres minor leaguer. They called up, and we've been backing him, riding him. This will be the second time that we cashed on him in terms of his starts, and I think we're going to continue that, right? If it's broke, don't fix it, so I can't wait for his rotational spot to come back around. But Marquez going for the Colorado Rockies. Expect fireworks, expect Padres to show up and show out, and we're going to dabble into kind of what we're seeing here, okay? And you can see it right here, guys. Team totals here for the Padres. Never will I ever take an over 6.5 at minus 142, and I think that's something where it's funny, but it isn't. It still is a good bet at 6.5. Not going to take it. I think we go right back to the well, but we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to go game lines. You could lay Padres minus 2.5 with an alternate run line. You can see it right here on your screen, but that's still minus 148. It's just something that's just is absolutely insane. And I'm not going to lay -3 at minus 127 on DraftKings. The best way that I thought to approach this game is we did first 7 last go round. I think the first 5 run line gives us the best value here as we look for San Diego minus 1.5 in the first 5 innings run line. Look for a hot start. Look for the Padres bats to come live at minus 110. We're going to take the Padres here first 5 innings minus 110. And if you did want a money line parlay, I would definitely kind of include the Padres to go alongside the Braves. That's kind of where my head would be at. Also, you could look for Yankees, potentially even team total, potentially even money line straight up. There's a lot of different things, but if you want to just have a little 2-leg move, it would definitely be Padres and Braves for me, okay? Back into the board, like I talked about, Yankees and the A's. This is something where I do look for runs in this game. It would be a 10 conversation. And I think it's still there. It's still playable. It's viable. Over 10 at plus 100 would be my official play if I were to bet this game, but no bet for me. I just think the Yankees show up, and minus 134 is very, very juicy if you wanted to get involved. I think the pinstripes get this one down on the road, but look for a lot of runs in Yankees A's, okay? Next one, Baltimore and the Angels. I'm just going to come out with it. The total is too low or too high for me. I know it's contrarian to the market as we see the majority of the handle is on the over, but I'm going to take the under in this spot, under 9 at minus 110. Ty Anderson and Eflin, I don't think the Orioles get it done offensively. They really struggle against lefties, and I think that the fact that the Angels are at home, you could potentially look for Angels team total, but I do think we get a decent outing here for Eflin, and I'm going to go a best bet on the under 9 at minus 110, Angels and Orioles, okay? And then the last few games to talk about, the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. This is where we get Gonsolin on the bump going against Zach Gallen. Great pitching matchup. The Dodgers, okay, we need to talk about that a little bit. And this is kind of just going to be a play on the number. The Diamondbacks have won last night, 3-0. And we've seen a little kind of zigzag going on as the Diamondbacks won 14-11 the day before on Friday. And then on Thursday, we saw the Dodgers losing 5-3 against the Diamondbacks. So I think that if we do continue this trend, I think the Dodgers are set up fairly well. So give me the Dodgers here at a short price, minus 105 on the road on the money line as an official best bet in this contest. Okay, Toronto and Seattle. This one's very interesting for me. If you wanted to get involved, it's a decent enough lean. That's kind of where I would back the Mariners here. I think the Mariners get this one done with Miller taking on Urena. And I think this is something where it's a clear-cut mismatch. That's why the number's priced accordingly. Minus 175. This is another great dance partner, in my opinion, for a parlay. Taking the Mariners at home. even if you wanted to get involved, I think maybe Blue Jays team total going under. You could potentially look for that to be a bet, but I think the Mariners are a safe play. Just no play officially at -175, so I'm going to pass on that. And then the last game, we get a little Sunday night baseball between the Phillies and the Guards, and you can look for Cleveland here +150 going against Zach Wheeler. I think this is something where we get a lot of runs as well. So the over 7.5 would be kind of where I would lend to, -110. But no play for me on this Sunday night baseball game. But I would lean runs with Wheeler on the road. The Indians, they have been kind of impressive here as of recent. We can look at kind of what they've been able to do, winning the first matchup on Friday 6-0, then losing 7-1. I think this is where we get a lot of runs in this getaway spot. So if I was going to bet this one, I would lean towards the over the total. We saw Ortiz kind of have a dominant outing, but then faulted the next time out. I think that you look to this for runs, and I think that the number is priced well with the Phillies that much of a favorite in the spot. So for me, as much as I'd love to back the Cleveland team at home with a very, very steep plus money price, it's going to be an over for me or nothing, and that's just kind of how I lean. Okay, so that's about it. We ran the entire board, guys. If you have not done so, it's completely free. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join us here on the channel, and let's run the board. Let's get a quick recap of our plays. Dodgers -105 on the money line. We're going to go San Diego first 5, -1.5 on the run line at -110. Tigers -112 on the money line to go alongside a Javi Baez over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs at +130. And then we're going to take Orioles, Angels under 9 at -110 to wrap up my card for today. So appreciate it, guys. Let me know what you'll be betting down below in the comments. Good luck on your picks. Happy Mother's Day to all you moms watching, and enjoy it. And we'll see you guys all tomorrow with the best bets as we break down the new week as we get into the Monday that we have coming. All right. Appreciate it, guys. We'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.